What's up, people? This is the Violent Casket, home to the lamest taste. Thank you guys for checking out the channel. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at the Violent Casket, one word. Please subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more. We are doing a movie review. This is one of the few times where I have been able to see a movie in theaters within its first week of release. And since starting this channel, I feel like I used to do it all the time, especially when I was like in college and then like grad school and then like a little bit after, as I find dry caulk on my arm. That's great. So I saw Dune Part 2 is basically what I'm trying to get at is, and I'm really excited to talk about this. So let's pop up the lower third. Boom. There's the poster. You probably saw the opening screen, but this was a fantastic movie. So this was released on March 1st. It is currently March 7th. I saw it on March 5th. And yeah, I saw the first movie released during like the pandemic era, where I believe it was both in theaters and also on HBO Max at the time. It's now Max, but I believe it was on HBO Max to stream. And you also had the option to go to the theaters, but it was like still like pandemic level stuff going on, so you had the option, which was cool that Max did that with a lot of their releases. HBO did that with a lot of their releases. So me and my wife, fiance at the time, watched it, and it was in our opinion, it was slow. It was a long movie. This one is too, but it was slowly paced, and that's because there was a lot of deposition and a lot of character development and a lot of build and lead up that is necessary in that first movie to make everything that happens in this movie make coherent sense. And a lot of people are like, I still don't know what happened. I'm still confused. Blah, blah, blah. You had to really piece the things that were happening in the first movie into this, and it was a slow build, it was a slow development, but it made sense, and I had a blast. So first off, let's get right into it. Thematically, technically, editing wise, amazing film. Transitions are great, shot selection is great, shot framing is great, lighting, set design, CGI, everything was fantastic, above par for what we're looking at. Runtime, I feel like 2 hours and 46 minutes is long, but I understand that they used two movies to adapt like a 600-page book. Makes sense. Okay. Acting, impeccable. Everyone did a great performance. Even Austin Butler, where I did not like his voice, and I know it had to match like his relatives and other people had like that strange voice, but he really sent it home. It was a little weird for me, but I'll give and take. I enjoyed his performance. I thought he pulled it off. It was weird, but I think he pulled it off. And then everybody else was just great. Like everyone across the board did a great job. The fight scenes, the choreography was great. The pacing here was good. It did feel long, but it didn't feel like 3 hours, which was awesome. That's amazing, especially when you start off the franchise with a slow movie. The second one really took off on that and just nailed it home. I loved it. I loved the storyline. I loved the way they displayed everything, the way they captured everything. I loved everything about this. This is a really solid movie. Definitely better in my opinion than the first, but obviously you need the first one to make this one good. Yeah, I went over techniques, I went over acting, I worked all the camera stuff. Writing here is great. The humor is where it needs to be. The seriousness is where it needs to be. The mystery, the questioning, the weird shit that makes you want the next one and is making so many people read the book right now is all there and done so well. Editing is fantastic. Rating wise, I'm gonna just go out there and say this is a 4.1 in my opinion. And I know, like, oh, you're praising it, why wouldn't you give it higher? Oh, that's, I try to be as rational as possible and as feasible as possible. And like, yes, there's some TV shows I've given for what they are. For what this is, you know, you're living in a world with Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, all those franchises, right? It's good. It's great. The first movie is slow and it's just difficult to get into. This one was great, but it depends on that first one. So that first one's going to always hold this down because you can't. I feel like it's hard to go into this dry because there's character development on the new characters and some of the characters that didn't get enough screen time in the last movie, but you don't get a lot of development on the characters that got all the development in the previous movie. So it's a give and take there because they're all like, obviously Paul gets and Johnny get development, but different development. You already get their basic character layouts in the first one, and in this one you just expand. You don't get to know who they are, what their intentions are, and how they form a relationship. They just build off of that. So if you went into this movie blank, dry, nothing, you would be lost. So it's going to be held down by a slow, sour first movie because it's dependent on it. So 4.1 is my score. 4.2 maybe. I'm going to go with a 4.2, I think. It's solid. It's great. It looks good. It's a lot of fun. I highly suggest getting into this and getting into the books. This is an amazing movie. I can't wait to see. I believe Messiah is next. Messiah, Children, God Emperor. I believe is the order, and then there's like one after that. A lot of books. With that being said, guys, get in the comments. Let's discuss this. Did you like it? Did you see it? That, this, or the other? My last minute little bit. Seeing this in theaters was awesome. I went in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. No one was there. It was a blast. Obviously, I went at like 12 o'clock at noon on like a Tuesday because I was off from work. So it was just a perfect layout. Amazing. Great movie. Go see it. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. With that being said, this is the Violent Casket, home to Blameless Taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the bell for much, much more. All one word, the Violent Casket. And do me a favor and stay lame.